The news. Good evening. 54 new COVID-19 cases have been detected since the last update on the 29th. 45 cases were discharged today, bringing the total number of recovered cases to 3,776. The Public Health Services and the Surveillance Unit are working closely with different stakeholders to monitor significant clusters of cases and to reinforce means of controlling the spread of the virus. Restrictions on the movement due to COVID-19 pandemic have been revised. The restricted time of movement is now from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. This follows an amendment in the public health regulations for infectious diseases published in the official gazette of the 29th of March. Previously, restrictions on movement were from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. The public health regulations have also been amended to include Sputnik as a vaccine that can be used in emergency cases against COVID-19. This is legal since the 9th of March. Sputnik is produced in Russia. The National Assembly took well over half a day today to finally approve a budget of 1.3 billion rupees for the healthcare agency. The budget for the agency this year has increased by 87.3 million rupees compared to last year and is the second highest in the national 2021 budget.
One of the predominant issues that came up during the debate on the healthcare agency budget was the COVID-19 pandemic. Some MNAs questioned the Minister for Health on whether a complete and comprehensive record is being kept on COVID patients, and in particular those who have passed away. The Chief Executive Officer of the agency, Dr. Danny Louange, gave assurances that minute details are made available to public. Nothing is kept secret. When answering the questions, the Minister for Health, Peggy Vidot, noted that there were almost 100 Seychellois doctors, but they are still outnumbered by foreign medical practitioners. She said that the ministry is doing its utmost to reverse that trend. After the budget was approved, the National Assembly started its debates on the budget for the Ministry of Health at a sum of 49.6 million rupees. A large chunk of the budget will be allocated to training of students from NIHSS and in-service staff. The members also asked questions on the construction of a new health school, of which Minister Vidot said that the ministry has been able to get a sponsor for this development. Meanwhile, the program to encourage more youths to join the health sector continues. In the end, the Assembly approved the budget.
President Wavell Ramkalawan has commended the Central Bank of Seychelles for its achievements during 2020. Mr. Ramkalawan was speaking to the Governor of the Central Bank, Ms. Carolina Bell, after receiving the bank's annual report at State House this morning. The submission of this report to the President is an obligation under the Central Bank Act. This has to be before the 31st day of March each year. The report is drafted with the help of a foreign auditor.
We have to submit a report on the affairs of the bank, and this will be mainly related to policy decisions and actions that we've done. And also in terms of operations of the bank. In addition to that report, we've also submitted a second one, even though it's not an obligation. This is on the international reserves management activities that we have done throughout the year. And as you know, Central Bank has been very active on that front, where we have been using the reserve to support the whole economy and also to import fuel and essential commodities. The President has thanked the Central Bank for being at the forefront throughout 2020 in coming out, talking to the public, and we have thanked him for this comment, and I have also advised him that we will continue with our engagement with the public on a regular basis, and the activities that we are doing with other stakeholders, especially the groups that are a bit vulnerable in society, such that we can bring financial services closer to them.
And copies of both documents were also submitted to the National Assembly of Seychelles. The president today also met with two associations, one being the Deaf Association, led by Anita Gardner. The team described the meeting as a fruitful one with different topics related to hearing problems, but the main one was education of the hearing impaired. The association also donated a sign language dictionary to President Ram Kalawan.
Okay, we met the president today because we've been having difficulties in trying to get a center that we have renovated, equipped at Northeast Point for a number of years now. We've had difficulty in getting it fully operational. We don't have the funds, we don't have the personnel to run the center. So our meeting today with the president was to put that to his attention. The meeting was extremely positive. He's been very helpful. He has promised to do what he can to help us get the resources that we need to get the center fully operational.
And this was Mrs. Marianette Enesta, who is the chairperson of the Autism Association. The other group, they also met with President Ram Kalawan, and they said that the discussions were positive and that discussions revolved mostly around the running of a center for the autistic based at Northeast Point. The Landscape and Waste Management Agency said that overall the Easter cleanup went very well. 116 tons of waste was collected on Mahe compared to December last year when 35 tons of waste was collected. The senior landfill officer at the agency, Daryl Clotilde, said that the amount of waste collected means that more people participated in the campaign and more waste is also being produced. In this campaign, people were asked to dispose their waste directly on the landfill, which was free of charge, instead of putting the waste at bin sites in the districts. And with this, we end this news summary at 8. We'll be presenting the news in Creole. Have a very pleasant evening.